Good afternoon. We're back with more Lord of the Rings LCG, and today is the Nin-In-Eilph on Nightmare difficulty. I am probably pronouncing that terribly. That is my best guess, the Nin-In-Eilph. This can be a long quest. If you can't get set up very quickly, you keep cycling through different stage 2s. And the Nightmare mode makes it a little more difficult by bringing the boss enemy in faster than you normally would. Faster than you would normally see it. So we've got to start with one location in the staging area. And then advance to a random stage 2A. So we get those shuffled up and just choose the one on the top left. Going to raise threat by 1 each time you go to a new stage 2. And it's going to add Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area to start the game. So you basically have 3 turns or 3 ticks of the Doom Clock to make 13 progress. And if you cannot do that, then you have to advance to a different stage 2A, which increases your threat and can trigger other effects as well. So, good to get set up quickly, and Outlands gets set up pretty quickly. The Ancient Marsh Dweller does escalate in power. So we get some no Ethir Swordsman. So this is not a real fast start unless I can get one with a very good tail. And I cannot, so my questing power is very limited. I've got a lot of attack power. Really could have used Faramir. It's not an easy decision to let that go, but I'd rather do that and get the Warrior of Lossarnach out, the 2 Warriors of Lossarnach out this turn. I think that leads to better outcomes. Even though I am now going to be taking on some threat due to the limited willpower I can bring to this quest at this moment. So we got a 30 threat enemy. Gonna move to the location, which requires me to exhaust a character. And when this enemy engages, I have to discard a damaged character, but I don't have any at the moment. So attacking enemy gets +1 for each time counter on the quest, and that's going to kill Denethor. Unfortunate. It's going to make setup even slower. I do have some decent combat power here. So the Marsh Dweller gets buffed, 1 off the Doom Clock, and we're on to the next round. And I should have raised threat by 1 more for Naalir. So threat should be at 35 at the moment. And there's an Ethir Swordsman, so that's very good. That's a timely, very good tail. Got some pretty good combat power now with 3 Warriors of Lossarnach on the table. So go ahead and quest. But not for a huge amount. Really just questing not to take on threat, because I want to deal with the enemies that I have out. So the encounter card unfortunately takes 1 off the Doom Clock. And we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, so I take 2 more threat. Should be at 37 now. And an attack from the Marsh Dweller, which is not all that threatening at this moment. But I want to take out this enemy before I move on to the next phase. If I couldn't have taken it out by the end of the round, it would have gone back to staging, then come back into play, killing a damaged character. Of course, I don't have any damaged characters right now. So, the Doom Clock goes off, and we've failed to clear Stage 2, so we have to advance to a new Stage 2A. And threat should go up by 1 more for Nollier, so it should be at 39 now. Which is pretty high given where we're at in the game. Haven't even advanced past Stage 2 and we're at 39 threat. Resource accelerators are helpful due to the death of Denethor very early. And all allies interplay exhausted thanks to the Stage 2B, so that's why I'm exhausting them as they interplay this round. This is a nightmare Stage 2B. And going to use Men of the West to grab a Hunter of Lamedon, which is also going to interplay exhausted. So should be at 40 threat now. Definitely have a limited time in which to progress and beat this quest. Would like to defeat the Marsh Dweller, get it out of there as soon as possible because it's going to contribute a lot of threat against. I'll have to defeat it again later, but that's okay. So I rethought who I wanted to send to the quest. So we're sending 12, make 1 progress. It's a fairly innocuous location. And we're going to go ahead and engage the Marsh Dweller, I think. Yep, we'll get it out of the staging area and then we'll proceed on the quest. So the attack will be handled by, well, I think a Hunter of Lamedon will tank it. It's likely going to die. He's attacking for 9. So rip. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that I can bring against him. Actually 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Which is not enough to take him down. We're 1 short. Unfortunate. But at least it's out of the staging area. There we get a chump blocker. Once I clear the location, I can add 2 time counters to the quest, so that'll help with clearing it. Would be at 42 threat now. If I had remembered Nollier, and I do remember it eventually, I believe, and I mark it correctly. So none of these locations would I consider to be too terrible. So I clear the location, add 2 time counters, and then I can choose whichever of these I consider to be the most threatening to move to. They don't have travel effects. So we go ahead and start clearing up the staging area. Start cleaning up the staging area. I'm going to sacrifice an Anfalas Herdsman here. And I would have sacrificed the Envoy of Pelargir, but he had to interplay exhausted thanks to the Nightmare quest that I'm on, the quest stage. So there goes Ancient March Dweller. We'll see him later. Now I remember that I needed to increase my threat because of Nalir. And I have it marked correctly now. And we're on to the next round. Should be 1 off the Doom clock. Should be down to 3. But we'll be clearing that shortly. So now we've got incoming Ethir Swordsman and Knight of the Swan. Those are both going to interplay exhausted. And now I want to make some more serious progress. Got a pretty good setup, and my threat's getting a little high. No enemies on the table, so gonna quest like we mean it. Remove 1 time counter from the current quest, or remove each character. Yeah, I'm gonna remove 1 time counter from the quest, so it should be down to 2. Now I have it marked correctly, and so I make 22 progress. That's gonna clear phase 2 and move into phase 3. It's gonna be a random stage 3. Choose the top left one. Got to add Ancient Marsh Dweller back into the staging area. And raise threat by 1. So can choose one of these locations to move to. Probably the 3 threat one. Treachery card effects cannot be cancelled. That's not so bad. And with 16 progress, I can likely clear that in 1 round, given my board state. We'll go ahead and engage the Marsh Dweller. Yeah, maybe not. I guess he can stay there for 1 round. I don't really have the combat power to take him out, so why let him kill one of my guys this round? I guess I can get his threat out of the staging area. That's probably what I was thinking. So he is indeed going to kill my Envoy of Pelargir, and then I can deal 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I have 3 Knights of the Swan now. I forgot about that. So it's actually 4, 8. Yeah, I mean, I had extra combat power as well. So, with the extra Knight of the Swan, that gets us to the required amount. With some to spare. And there's Faramir, so that's going to make this clearing phase 3 in 1 round relatively easy. And we'll be on to stage 4. So, basically have only 1 turn to clear stage 4. Luckily, stage 4 doesn't add 1 more threat, or I would just lose. Add Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area. And it's going to make an immediate attack. I'll use a jump blocker for that. So, just need to defeat the Ancient Marsh Dweller to win, and should be able to accomplish that this round. So I have basically 1 round to spare. If I don't win this round, I'm going to go up to 49 threat, and I would need to win next round, but it appears that I have the ability to just win this round. It's going to likely kill... Well, the Hunter of Lamedon might survive. I decide to sacrifice the Anfalas Herdsman, though, because I'll gain a little bit more combat power. And I figure this is going to be the last turn I want to win right here. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that will do it for the Ancient Marsh Dweller. And that will end the game. So, defeated the Ancient Marsh Dweller 3 times. And nearly threaded out. But we're able to get a strong setup. And advance through the quest. The lack of threat reduction in the Outlands deck can be an issue from time to time, and it almost was here. So, thanks for watching.